Alright lads, so today we are over on BBS Simulator because we got some DATAMINE information in regards to the upcoming set of resurrectable characters. In this case, on the 28th, I believe, of this month, we are going to be getting the resurrections for both TOSHIRO and also IZURU, our first ever double team character. So if you missed our last Datamine video in regards to the recent resurrections that we did get, we did say that it was kind of 50-50 whether it was going to be Kanfi and World Round 4, because that technically right now is the oldest banner to resurrect, or they were going to continue with the premium set of characters and then do IZURU with also TOSHIRO. It looks like right now 1000 Year Blood War is going to be the middle of the month resurrections until the end of the year. So next resurrection batch should be Misaki, Isshin, and also Ryuken. And then maybe Kanfi and World War will continue around December and also January, which is when we should potentially expect someone like Tokinada to get resurrected. And again, maybe even 5th anniversary characters getting resurrected around January time. Because at this point in time, there are only 2 more premium banners to go. 1 premium banner to go before we do get to 5th anniversary. With that said though, let's have a look at the new resurrectable characters. So first off, let's have a look at TOSHIRO. I'm really not sure what to expect with these characters. They are premium, so I'm not expecting anything super crazy. At the very least, I'm hoping for some decent links. So TOSHIRO is the 12% recharge soul trait. I would love to see strong attack damage. I feel like strong attack damage and recharge is something that we haven't seen in quite some time. Maybe it's just me. Obviously, we've gotten more strong attack damage only when at full stamina, and that right now might be one of the best traits you can get. It's a new multiplier. It's 20% more strong attack damage. A lot of characters benefit from soul traits like that, but like the simple recharge inside, I feel like it's something that we haven't seen in quite some time. With that said though, I'm probably expecting this character to get more damage to frozen enemies, which again is a soul trait that can be good if there are speed characters that can benefit from it. But unless I'm forgetting someone, I don't believe there are any speed characters in the game right now that can benefit from damage to frozen enemies. Having a look at the skills though, the character itself does have a 20% Berserker, Bruiser, Debilitator, Devastation, Fire Duration, Frenzy, and also Sprinter +1. That right there is 7 skills, so I believe he's going to get 2 new skills, and then maybe 1 new innate skill. So we could potentially see some Havoc here, more damage maybe to frozen enemies, likely Guard Break, but realistically, I'm just hoping for a good soul trait, so let's check it out. Alright then, so scrolling down, first up, his innate skill is 20% Havoc. That's really good. His soul trait is damage to frozen enemies, and then having a look at the character's skill set, he does get 30% more damage to frozen enemies, and also an extra 20% Berserker. Does seem to be the case. This was around the time every character started to get Frenzy and Berserker. He is lacking Guard Break, which has kind of been the standard for every new resurrectable character that we have been getting, but 20% more Berserker, 30% more damage to frozen enemies, and an extra 20%. So 70% extra damage assuming the enemy is frozen, and he also did get the extra 20% range. I'm liking the Havoc skill. It's going to make him play a bit more fun if you do decide to use him. And to be fair, he is a character I believe you still use to this day if you're playing Chronicle Quest. So that extra range and damage might actually make the character auto faster. So I guess he's got that going for him. These damage to frozen status afflicted enemies, soul traits, are something that we're going to see quite often now. I personally don't mind it. I know everyone wants to see strong attack damage, etc. But we have plenty of those links. And that's not me saying we don't need to ever get any more sad damage links, right? We're still going to get those. But this does spice it up a tad bit, and are introducing soul traits that, to be fair, might be useful in the future. They aren't really useful right now until a character comes out that wants to do damage to frozen enemies. You can, as of right now, kind of look at these soul traits as filler soul traits, but I'd like to say most people do have access to a decent amount of decent links. You only need 3 strong attack damage and recharge soul traits, right? So I don't mind these soul traits existing, but I will also acknowledge the fact that they aren't really all too useful right now. In terms of speed characters that can actually benefit from this soul trait, there isn't really that many right now. In fact, we've only ever had 2 more speed characters after this TOSHIRO's release that can inflict freeze. This TOSHIRO doesn't really have a high chance to inflict freeze. He mainly relies on that through his SA3. So I don't know if I would actually give him that soul trait over a strong attack damage soul trait. And then someone like Sangdu honestly wouldn't be a bad character to be given this soul trait. But Sangdu is one of those weird characters that we saw at the start of the year where he doesn't have Debilitator. So once he inflicts a status on, in this case freeze, which he does have an increased chance to do so, the enemy's only going to be frozen for like 2 or so seconds, so you're better off just giving him strong attack damage. So overall, I would say it's kind of like a filler resurrection right now. Again, I don't mind these soul traits existing. If they become useful in the future, great. Plus, he's only a 12% recharge. There's plenty more 12% recharge characters getting resurrected in the future. This right now is kind of just a phase K-Lab is in, giving characters like this these type of soul traits. If this is the first of its kind, then it's not really a bad thing. Which, to be fair, it does seem to be the case. This is the first ever speed speed soul trait with recharge and also more damage to frozen enemies. So at least now we can have like a checklist like, okay, we've gotten it. Do we need any more of these soul traits? Probably not. But you're going it out the way. Now let's move on to another stat augment and maybe never come back to this. So yeah, overall, decent resurrection. I guess the best part about him again is the character that you are going to use in Chronicle Quest monthly if you are still farming that for the orbs. The extra range should allow him to clear a tad bit faster, therefore making the Chronicle Quest grind hopefully a tad bit faster too. And then next up, we have IZURU. So in terms of this character's soul trait, he should actually just get strong attack damage, full stamina, or more strong attack damage when at full stamina. The reason why I say that is because he is a double team character. So I believe when you're using Gin, you can inflict poison, but then I believe when you are using IZURU, it goes to slow or lacerate. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure the stat augment does change. Hopefully it does, because that means there's no reason for him to get damage to poison enemies, right? In terms of skills, though, he has 20% Berserker, Bruiser, Debilitator, Devastation, Frenzy, Guard Break, Long Reach, and also Sprinter +1. Long Reach in particular is a wasted skill. I think this was kind of like around the end of the period where characters started to get Long Reach. Like almost every SP character back in the day was given Long Reach, right? It used to also be a trend to give normal attack damage characters Berserker, and then strong attack characters Bruiser. You know, you can see here, for example, Gin also got 20% Bruiser and also Long Reach. Kind of a wasted skill, but this was before skills started to get super crazy and also to a certain extent unique. In this case, though, he has 8 skills, so I think he's getting 1 more new skill and also an innate ability, if not just 1 new innate ability. In this case, he already has Guard Break, he already has Berserker. Just give him more Berserker, a good soul trait and Havoc, and this is going to be a pretty good resurrection. I mean, obviously, damage output he's going to be lacking compared to some of the newer characters, but he has a decently fun kit. He's still a unique character given their double team status. I think the only thing I can ask for here is Havoc, and hopefully that's what he gets. So let's find out. So first up, looking at the innate skill, we got Guard Break. He already has Guard Break, so they just moved up the skill. That's not a good sign of him getting Havoc, though, because I'm pretty sure they'll just give him Havoc in the innate skill section. Scrolling down, he actually did get damage to poison. Damn. It's like, great. Oh, he actually got the Havoc? Okay. Why did they do that, though? I'm pretty sure characters can get Havoc through the innate skills. I mean, TOSHIRO just got it, but they moved the Guard Break up to the innate skills section. They gave him Havoc at the very least. That's really good. 40% more Berserker, and also an increased chance to inflict stat augments. I'd say that's a pretty good resurrection. I mean, again, his damage output definitely is still lacking. A spiritual pressure boost would have been great here. But in all honesty, if you are a fan of this character, more range, more damage is never a bad thing, and you also now got the utility effect of being able to inflict stat augments a lot more often. And what is very noteworthy here, to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure this is the case, this is the first ever character to get an increased chance against any speed enemy. That is really good. Every other character, again, quote me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm not though, that has gotten a resurrection with an increased chance, it's only to their respective killer. In this case though, Gin is to anyone. This might be a very good resurrection in my opinion. I'm excited to try him out at the very least once he does get resurrected around the 27th and 28th when it gets officially added to the game. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing. In all honesty, this character's resurrection could have been even better if he just didn't have those wasted skills, right? If he wasn't given Bruiser. Actually, hold on. Did they remove the Long Reach? They've actually removed Long Reach. Is this a first for Brave Souls where they remove a skill to give them something else? It might be. If that's the case, that gives us a lot more hope in the future for future character resurrections, because we briefly spoke about it with Yamamoto. Let's go on a quick side tangent here. If we have a look at 10 years later Rukia, and by default this also includes 10 years later Ichigo, they pretty much have a capped out skill list. They can't get any more skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 skills right there. Scrolling down, right, we have a look at their innate skills. She has 3 innate skills. This means when she does resurrect, she's picking up no new skill, which of course would come with some disappointment. I believe people want her to get Guard Break, for example, or maybe even a spiritual pressure boost. But the thing is, that was never possible until maybe now with this new Gin resurrection, because he lost the Long Reach to be given a new and better skill. In this case, when it comes to Rukia, maybe they could take off the Bruiser and give her Guard Break. Take off the Bruiser and give her a spiritual pressure boost. I think that's probably the best case scenario for this character, alongside overall getting more damage to frozen enemies and also more Berserker. I mean, I guess we'll talk about it in December when it's time for her to resurrect, but I think that's like the only skill they could remove, but at least we know now. Again, maybe they've done that in the past. I don't remember, at least not of recent, of Caleb removing skills to give them better ones. And that's exactly what they did with this IZURU resurrection, so I'm actually really happy with IZURU. Might not seem like super crazy, but he honestly did get a better than expected resurrection, and he's the first character to be given an increased chance against every speed enemy. He got the 40% Berserker, so that kind of makes up for the soul trait not being really good. He was also given Havoc too, so he basically got everything you want with a resurrection for the most part. And just to quickly confirm, does the character actually have... Okay, there we go. So I was right and wrong at the same time, so I guess damage to poison does make sense on Ginzuru. Both characters, Gin and Izuru, can inflict poison, so I guess it makes sense. The only thing that changes in this case is the normal attack, which goes from lacerate to poison, so I guess damage to poison enemies should have been expected. So yeah, overall, I'd say I like the resurrection batch. Now, like I said, our next upcoming resurrection is going to be Misaki, Isshin, and also Ryuken. That can happen in the middle of next month for November, and then that means November's end of month resurrection should, I believe, be Amagai, Retsu, and also Makoto, and that potentially then sets up 5th anniversary characters to get resurrected in January. December mid-month resurrection should be Ichigo and also Rukia. That's the last 1000-year battle banner to get resurrected for a while. And then hopefully with that banner out of the way, we can start going back to Khan for your resurrections because they are awfully behind now. And whenever Caleb do decide to continue Khan for your own worlds, they will continue with Tokinada. So that's definitely something to look forward to. But December's end of month resurrection batch should actually be the Christmas banner. Some decent resurrections coming our way, mostly with the 1000-year battle batch. I'm excited to see what Misaki's going to pick up, and of course now I'm even more excited to see how they are going to handle Ichigo and Rukia, given the fact that they've now shown us that they can remove skills to give them new and better skills. So either way, with that said, hope you liked and enjoyed the video. In the comments below, let me know what you'd like to think about these characters' resurrections, and I'll see you lads next time. Take care, and peace.